Hello everyone! So we have suspended our radio silence. The latest video, gameplay showcase, was released in July. All this time, of course, we have been working on the game, and today we have collected what we can and what we want to show you. What exactly we were doing? We are preparing the game for the last close testing, and we are finishing the project as a whole. All about this later in the Q&A. Now, the demonstration. Now to the questions. By the way, I would like to thank you for your activity. One of the users, known in narrow circles of YouTube, asked me about 30 questions in private messages. If you are watching this, I'm sorry that I didn't answer all of them. The first question is, what will you do after the game is released? Make a new game, or are there plans for DLCs or major updates after release? After the release, in addition to supporting the game with various patches and a couple of major updates, we intend to develop other games with a set quality level, which will only rise, I believe. Camera upgrades were discussed here, please tell us more about them. We showed some of them in trailers, you can guess what they do. Will the game be in open beta? An exclusively closed beta test will be held. Given the targeted release date is sometime this year, are you generally confident you'll reach that goal? How willing are you to potentially delay the release, if required? Yes, so far we are sure of it. However, if there will be a delay, then this will move the release to the spring of next year, because we don't exclude the option in which before release we decide to improve too much to give it as a regular update. It will be no longer than spring of next year. The following two questions will be answered by people who are immersed in their topic with their heads.
In fact, it was pretty easy to implement the basic mechanics of camera, including scaling and other stuff. But surprisingly, we encountered problems with lifting physical props and player movement. It turned out to be more complicated than we could have imagined. Much more difficult than the implementation of the main mechanic.
Hello, and thank you for following the development of Stop the F and everything that Ironstone Collective has been up to. I'm Silicon Monday, the composer of the game, and I'm going to be answering one of the questions from the Q&A. The question is, what exactly were some of my inspirations for the music that I'm making for this game? And that's a loaded question. Definitely, I'm trying to do something a little bit different than what I did for the canceled Portal Relocation mod we were previously working on, in the sense that I'm not trying so much to replicate the style of Mike Morrissey and Kelly Bailey and kind of all of the Portal music that's come beforehand. More so, I'm really diving deep into, for instance, Harry Callahan, Vandoria, a lot of these fan composers, and seeing how they're using the source material as inspiration for their work, and trying to make something that is both very Portal inspired but also very much my own work. So that is definitely a huge part of it. In terms of specific pieces that were inspirational to me, I think Harry Callahan, his piece Acceleration for Portal Stories Mel, I think was kind of a baseline for a lot of the just background tracks I've been working on. And then in terms of the more ambient ones, a lot of Kelly Bailey stuff, not just his Portal music, his Half-Life 2 soundtrack as well. I am a huge fan of that too. So I'm trying to think, like, anything in particular. I used my own song, Ampersand, as kind of a basis for the song that plays at one point in the game when you're on the, I think it's like a boat ride. That is kind of a rendition of one of my singles. But other than that, I think it's just been a hodgepodge of like Portal stuff, Half-Life stuff, fan-made stuff, and just really digging deep into how I can make music that's both my own and also very evocative of the vibe that I know we're going for. So that's about all I have for you. Thank you again for being interested in the development of this game. We're very excited for a potential release sometime this year. And yeah,